Hello, Professor Halsey here, and this is section 5.4 in our Zybook assignments, and this is for CEIS150. And we're here today looking at NumPy. Yes, that's how it's pronounced, NumPy. And NumPy is used frequently in data science and statistical analysis, so it has a lot of built-in mathematical functions, including how to deal with multidimensional arrays. Now, if you took arrays in math and you remember multiplying one element times the other to get the final answer, well, we do it in a single statement here because they've allowed us to work with one- and two-dimensional arrays. Okay, what's the benefit of NumPy over list operations? It does fast mathematical operations. What is not done in NumPy? List concatenation. Import NumPy as NP, which term is an alias? Well, the alias is NP. That way we don't have to type NumPy every time, just NP. NumPy is often used for which field? Statistical analysis. And again, here we're looking at array types. The NumPy array data type is called ND array. ND stands for n-dimensional, and n can be any number of dimensions. Okay, there's an example here, and all we have to do is run it. And it's going to print out my array, which was set up as 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23. And then it prints out the array shape. And it is two groups of 3 elements each. You can see that inside the square brackets is a group. And inside that group is 1, 2, 3 elements, and there's 1, 2, 3 elements in this group, hence the 2, 3. Two groups of 3 elements each is how I read it to make sure I keep it in order. And then the size of that, there's a total of 6 elements in the array. Okay, so let's look here. This is 4 elements in one array, so a 4 by 1. All right, inside here we have 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so that's, this is one group here, and this is one group, one set of groups here. All right, so there's 2 by 3s. So there's 1 2 by 3 here, and the other 2 by 3 is here, because this is 2 groups of 3, and this is 2 groups of 3. So this is 2 groups of 2 times 3. Okay, here we have 4 groups with 2 elements in each group. Okay, here it's just output to a function. No, wrong one. There we go. And then this one here, there is different number of elements in the 2 arrays. So that's actually an invalid array. This one is 2 groups of 4 each. And this is 1 element in an array. Okay, here we're looking at a little simulation in a 2D array. Axis 0 indicates the direction along the array's rows. So here we have row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, going from left to right. And axis 1 indicates the direction along the array's columns. So here we have axis 1 and column 0, column 1, and column 2. Many NumPy array functions and methods such as NumPy delete and ND array sort take on axis arguments to indicate which axis to work along. I'm going to look at some sorts here in a minute, and the sort typically works with axis equal to 0, but then they'll tell us it equals to 1 and we have to change what we're doing. Okay. The delete function removes the row because it was axis 0. Well, no, it said that wrong. It should remove the column. Oh, removes the row, axis 0, or the column, axis 1, indicated by OBJ. Okay, and OBJ was 1, so it's going to delete a column. When OBJ is 1 and axis is 1, the second column is removed because the 1 for the column and then 1 for the axis and 1 for the column would end up deleting column 1. And once you delete column 1, it moves column 2 into the place of column 1. So we're left with the original column 0 and column 2, now called column 0 and column 1. Okay. The delete function removed. Okay, the second column is removed and the returned axis has a 4x2 shape. 4 groups of 2 numbers each. The array sort method can take an axis argument to indicate which axis to sort along. If the axis is 0, sorting happens in ascending order. In each column downward along the rows. Okay, so here it sorted the numbers in column 0, and 12 stayed where it was because it was the smallest, but the 26 went from row 3 up to row 1. The 72 stayed in row 2, but the 94 jumped up to row 3. Okay, then it sorted column 1. 10 was the lowest, then 23, then 41, then 57, and then column 2, 32 was the lowest, then 45, then 68, then 89. How many axes does a 3D array have? 3. In a 2D array, you have 0 and 1, so the second or the last axis is 1. In a 2D array, the 0 axis runs along the array's rows. 0 for rows, 1 for columns. Okay, creating and modifying arrays. There's actually a good examples here as well to go through. And here we're making an array of 4 groups of 2. And we print my array C, D, E, F, A, B, and G, H. All right, so which tool can we use to take that one and have it, look, let's see, it's missing a set here. It's missing E and F, all right, and we're set to remove 1 on the axis 0, so that would be row 1 on axis 0, and we want to delete it. So we got rid of that particular EF, was row 1 on axis 0. Okay, now the next one, it actually takes them and spits them out in a one-dimensional array and returns a flattened one-dimensional version of the given array. That would be the ravel command. And I spelled it wrong. I know how to spell, I don't know why I did that. Okay, with this one here, it takes them and puts them in alphabetical order. So instead of the order that they were in originally, C, D, they're now in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this one is alphabetized. We use the sort command there. Okay, and if we're using a sort, and it comes out A, B, G, H. Okay, it looks like it left it the same, which means it's alphabetized according to column. All right, so we got C, D, E, F, A, B, G, H. There was no need to change it because it's already sorted and in alphabetical order. If this had been DC, this would have changed it to CD. Just to give you an example. If this was FE, this sort command that we're about to use here with an axis of 1 would change it to EF and put it in alphabetical order according to that particular group of 2 there. Okay. So then there's a table here that lists a bunch of different things that we can do with arrays. And some really good examples of using those functions: adding arrays, subtracting arrays, multiplying, using the dot method, dot product of arrays, finding the square root of each element, min, max, all that is very essential to know how to deal with data. All NumPy mathematical functions can take a scalar argument. Yes, they can. Operators such as greater than, less than, and equal can compare arrays. Yes, they can. The min method returns a one-dimensional array. And if you look here, no, it doesn't. It just returns the smallest element in the array. not a whole array. And now we're on our challenge activity. They want us to create a two-dimensional array containing the arrays 6, 2, 16, 13, 19. That's one group. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So we have 3 groups of 5 elements. Okay. Okay, so my array equals, oh, come on, np.array. So we want to use their array function, and we're going to start setting it up. And I am not going to type all of these numbers. I'm going to come grab them, minus the period, copy that, put it here, and end it off. Okay, I can check that. That should work. Cool. All right. We'll go to the next level. And here they want us to, they've imported NumPy. They have my array set up as NP array, DM, QH, BP, so that's 3 groups of 2 elements each. And they want us to put in the code here to sort the array. Okay, so they want us to sort each row along the direction of the columns in ascending order. All right, so that would be my array. Oh, come on, brain. Array dot sort, and we have to set our axis equal to 1 so that it will sort for the columns, or the axis 1 direction. Okay, next level. Okay, here we want to delete the first row of my array. All right, so we'll come here and my array dot delete, and the first row is 0. So change this. This is np dot delete, and we want to delete my array and the 0 row, and that's with an axis equal to 0. Okay, got this enough. Needed to back it up to here. There we go. All right, now we go to the next level, and they want us to flatten the array. So X array equals np dot ravel my array. Sorry, it's not my array, it's X array. And there we go. Okay, one more level. Here they want us to find the standard deviation of the array element. Okay, so we got my ARR np dot standard deviation std, and we're passing it my ARR. Hey, there we go. If you have any questions, please let me know. Here's the documentation for further information on the NumPy library. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.